Hello friends. Okay, today also we are going to deal with the information and communication technology. And today we are going to deal with some of the subtopics dealing with it. That is the memory, secondary storage devices, peripherals, and income, that is input and devices as well as output devices. So we cover a small area that is very important. If you get an idea of the computer and its main components, you will be able to understand the other areas connected with it. So without wasting time, I think we can start on with the class. Be attentive to the class. So first we are going to discuss about the memory. Okay, the memory of the computer. Like a human brain to store data and instruction. Why it is called as memory? Because it is like a brain. It is storing all the data. Okay, whatever the data we are in the computer is storing in the memory. And it is also the same thing as like a brain. It gives the instructions to the computer. So the memory is the area. And there are three types of memories there. Okay, there are three types of memories there. First one is cache memory. You heard about it. Okay, it's a high speed semiconductor memory. It is high speed. Speed is very high for it. Those which have too much of high speed, they have their memory level is that it is. We know that its speed is high, then its storage is very less. Okay, understood. So cache memory, high speed, it's a semiconductor memory to speed up CPU and act as a buffer between the CPU and main memory. So it is it is what we have to say is that it is working as a what we have to say, it's a buffer means it's that will stop something. Okay, between the CPU and main memory. So working in between it is working. Okay, in between the cache memory is working. It's high speed type of memory. It means that the storage is less for it in the case of cache memory. Next is primary memory or the main memory, holds only those data and instructions which computer is currently working. When it is computer is working, we have the primary memory is coming there, and we know that it is not that much speed as cache memory, but the storage is less in the case of primary memory. Okay, so those I told you the speed is high, storage is less. Okay, if the storage is high, then speed is less. That is the way it works. Okay, the primary memory holds only those data and instruction which is helpful for the working. Okay, so primary, it is connected with working of the computer. Okay, next is secondary memory. It is a external or non-volatile. Non-volatile means we are not able to erase it. Okay, slower than the main memory. It is very slow. The speed is very low, but the storage is high. These are used for storing data, informations permanently. Its permanent storage is happening in the secondary memory. Understood? The secondary memory is the area where the high storage is happening. And you know that storage is high, the speed is very low. So I think you get an idea about the memory, three type of memory. Cache memory, high speed, but high speed, less storage. Okay, and then it is a buffer between CPU and the memory storage. The next is the primary one. Primary, it is less speed than the cache, and the storage is better than that of the cache. And the secondary is the high storage area, but its speed is very low, but it is the high area where we can store a lot of things, and it is permanently stored there. Okay, permanently stored there. So it is not erasable. Understood? The primary memory is erasable. Understood? And we told about the erasable and the non-erasable memories in the volatile and non-volatile. In the case of the previous video, we talked about it in the RAM and the ROM. Okay, so you now you get an idea about the primary, secondary, and cache memory. Next is secondary storage devices or external storage devices. Which are the external devices? Okay, outside the computer, what are the storage devices we are using? That is what we are going to study. Okay, you must know that because sometimes they ask questions related like that. Whether it is an external storage memory or like that, they will ask storage devices. Okay, floppy disk. You know what is floppy disk? I know you know about all these such things, but you know the sentences connected with it. Then only you know how it is using. floppy disk records in a magnetized stage. Okay, it's a magnetized stage of particles of iron oxide. So it's a magnetized one. Iron oxide are using in it. Evenly placed upon the concentric circles known as tracks. So there is tracks like circles, like tracks is there for the floppy disk. So you get an idea. We are storing it. It's a high storage area. Secondary storage means the storage is high. Okay. It is manganese one and an iron oxide, and it is a concentric circles are is in the case of floppy disk. Next is hard disk. It is non-removable and closed magnetic disk included in the PC. PC means a personal computer. It is inside the computer. We have the hard disk. It is a non-removable means it's a permanently is there. Okay, it's a magnetized disk. It is also a magnetized disk. It is also a secondary storage device. Next is magnetic tape. Okay, magnetic tape is another one. That is plastic tape made of mylar coated with iron oxide. It's also coated with iron oxide, thereby helping in writing, reading, and retention of memory. Writing, reading, you know, we write something on the disk and all. As I say, magnetic tape is using for that. Writing, reading, and retention of the memory means keeping that in the memory. The best use of tape storage for data. For data storage, we are using this. Okay, so three types of we have seen here. This secondary storages. So magnetic tape is there, hard disk is there. All these are there in the case of secondary storage devices. Floppy disk also we have seen. Next is peripherals. Okay, the devices connected to the computer externally. The devices that we are using are externally we are connecting, which all are the devices we are connecting to it. Input devices are also there. Output devices is also there. Input devices are the link between user and the computer. The person who is using it and the computer. That is the input devices. The user is using something to the computer. That is called input devices. And output devices, it shows you what it is doing, what the computer is doing. It shows to us through the devices, and that is known as the output devices. Okay. First, we are dealing with the input devices. Which are the input devices? That is between the user and the computer. First one is keyboard. You know that when you are using the computer, keyboard is an important part of it. It helps in inputting the data to the computer. Is it right? Yes, I know that it's very right, because by using the keyboard, you are typing the things and making the data into the computer. So it's an input device. Next is mouse. Okay, pointing device and a cursor, control devices. We sense the movement of mouse and send signals to CPU. It is a mouse which gives the signals to the CPU to do the work. Okay, it's also work as a cursor. There we can see in the computer, it's moving. It's a pointing device also. The mouse is also a pointing device. Next is joystick. And that is to move cursor position on a monitor screen. That is to move the cursor. We are using joystick. Used in the playing games and all. We are mainly using the joystick. It is also an input device. Okay, we now told three input devices: keyboard, mouse, and joystick. Next is light pen. Okay, what is light pen? We used it to select displayed menu or draw pictures on the monitor. If you want to draw some pictures on the monitor, we are using the light pen. Okay, or to display the menu, the content is there. So if you want to display it, we are using the light pen. The next is trackball, mostly used in laptop computers instead of mouse. Instead of the mouse, what is using trackball is using. There is a small area where you can move your fingers and you can use it. Okay, that is known as trackball. It's work as that of the mouse. Next is the scanner. Helps in scan printed materials, okay, and convert it into file format that can use in the PC. In PC means personal computer. Scan printed material. Scanner is the which help to scan the things. Okay, scanner is which help us to do the scanning material. So it is also a part of input device. Okay, digitizer. What is it? Converts analog information into digital form. Analog and information into digital form is doing by the digitizer. Next is microphone. A phone is needed, then only the sound is able to hear. So input sound that is stored in the digital form. In the digital form, we have to, that is, if you want to store some sounds and all, microphone is needed. So it's a part of input device. Next is magnetic ink character recognition, MICR, used it in banks to process the check and all. Check and all, we have to recognize it. We are using the magnetic ink character recognitions. Okay. So that is also the part of input device. Next is optical character reader, OCR. That is scans text. Okay, it scans the text and optically character by character. Character means character by character. You know, it was what you mean by it in the computer. That is one by one, and converts them into machine readable codes. That is readable codes. It is changing the optical character reader, is changing it into the mechanically readable codes. Okay. So it scan and convert it into mechanical readable codes. So these all belong to the input devices. Again, barcode reader, and this I think you are very familiar with it. Where whatever thing we buy from a shop, there is some kind of barcode is there. That is reader is there. Barcode reader is there. So device which help to read the barcode. It is also a part of input device. Next is optical mark reader, OMR. This might you have heard because for writing the exams, you might get the OMR sheets and all. That is optical scanner used to recognize the type of mark made by the pen or pencil. By using the pen or pencil, you are making some mark there and it is reading. Okay, that is called optical mark reader and it is also the part of input device. Okay. Next are going to talk about the output devices. Which are the output devices we have? First one is the monitor. Monitor is a screen which we can see the visual display. Okay, it forms the images from tiny dots called pixel. That's small dots we see in it is known as the pixels, and it is of two types. Okay, it's a monitor. It is of two types. One is cathode ray tube. Okay, cathode ray tube made up of pixels. Smaller the pixel, better the image. When the pixels are small and small, the grains is not there, then it is very high images. Okay, cathode ray tube is made up of pixels. Next is flat panel display. You see the flat type have reduced volume, weight, and power. That's weight and volume has become less now. Laptops and all these flat panel display we can see in it. Okay, cathode ray tube, it is somewhat weight and all is there. So these are the two types of monitor system we can see in the computers. Okay. Next is printer. Printer is another output device. Okay, output device used to print information on paper. We are getting some information from the computer and it is printing out to the paper. Two types of printers are there. Okay, printers is of two types. Is an output device. Okay, impact printer. Impact printer. This device print the characters with ribbon. Characters means words. Okay, with ribbon pressed method. Ribbon pressed method is the method used in the. It is an old type of printer where the ribbon pressed method is used. Okay, ribbon is using for the printing, not the ink and all. Okay. Next is non-impact printers, that is laser printer, inkjet printer. The latest printers are belong to the non-impact printers. Devices print without using ribbon. There is no ribbon in it. They are using some kind of ink and all for the printing and all. Okay, now that is that type of printing is come in the latest type of printing. So printers is of two type. It is also belong to the that not it is not input device. It's an output device. So I think now you are clear about so what is input device, what is output device. Okay, once they have asked about the some of the devices, they have given and asked whether it is input device or output device. So we have sometimes we get some kind of confusion whether keypad, whether it is input or output. We might think that it is outside the computer, might be it is output device. Not so. It is an input device like that. So you must have a clear about the things that help for the computer to work. That is, it is between the user and the computer, then they are the input devices. Okay, so you must have a clear idea about the input devices as well as output devices. So I think now you are clear about the storage system also. That is, when the speed increases, the storage decreases. When the storage is high, then the speed is less. We have talked about the primary data storage, secondary data storage, cache memory we have talked about. So I think you are clear about some of the basic elements needed for the computer. And they have asked some questions from this side also, because they want to understand whether you have an idea about the ICT, because in the higher education, the computer has an important role in the education field. So I think you are clear about the topic. Okay, don't forget to subscribe this channel. We can meet in the next class. Okay, goodbye.